Japan just got a clear warning from China, and it's not a speech, it's supply chains. Let's break it down. China has announced new export controls on dual use. Goods heading to Japan, items that can be used in civilian industry but could also support military capabilities. Beijing says it's targeting military-related end users, not normal civilian trade. But the problem is obvious. When the rules get broad, the economic impact can spread fast. And this didn't happen in a vacuum. The trigger is political. Japan's Prime Minister, Sanai Takaichi, made comments suggesting Japan could respond militarily if China attacked Taiwan. China called that provocative. And now we're seeing the response move from diplomacy to trade pressure. Here's why this matters more than people think. Dual use isn't a niche category. It can include chemicals, electronics, sensors, industrial equipment, the kinds of parts that quietly sit inside everything from cars and factory robots to telecom gear. When export licensing slows down or approvals get frozen, it doesn't need to be a total ban to cause pain. Delays alone can choke production. Now, there's another layer: rare earths. Reports say Chinese authorities have started tightening rare earth export licensing toward Japanese companies, and rare earth magnets are critical for motors, EVs, consumer electronics, and plenty of advanced manufacturing. If that pipeline gets constrained, Japan's high-end industries don't just pay more, they risk not getting enough components at all. I'm Imran, a Middle East-based analyst. I keep this neutral and simple, so you can focus on what matters. So let's talk leverage. Japan is deeply plugged into Chinese supply. In 2024, Japan imported about $167 billion worth of goods from China, roughly 22.5% of its total imports. That's not a relationship you can replace in one quarter with just buy elsewhere. Even if alternative supplies exist, prices go up, lead times stretch, and quality control becomes a new headache. And that's why the timing is brutal, because Japan is already dealing with financial stress signals. Japan's super long government bond yields have been climbing sharply, with the 30-year yield hitting around 3.52% at record highs recently. For a country used to ultra-low rates, higher yields squeeze budgets and borrowing costs, and they can make investors more nervous about the yen and long-term stability. So, when trade pressure hits at the same time as bond market stress, the risk is a feedback loop. Costs rise, margins shrink, investment slows, growth weakens, markets demand higher yields. What happens next? 3 things to watch. 1. Does China keep these controls narrowly aimed, or do they expand through licensing friction that hits civilian firms too? 2. Does Japan respond with its own trade measures, or does Tokyo choose quieter diplomacy to cool the Taiwan rhetoric? And 3. Do other Asian economies get pulled in as companies reroute supply chains and China signals? This is what crossing red lines costs. Bottom line, this isn't just a Japan-China argument. It's a preview of how great powers now use trade, not as commerce but as coercion. Now tell me what you think. Does Japan have room to hold its position, or will economic pressure force a climb down? If you want more fast, simple breakdowns like this, hit like, subscribe, and share.